Hey everyone, this is Sam, and welcome to my Monster Hunter Rise weapons and combos tutorial. Today I'll be showing you guys a video on the Longsword, which is a S tier and basically the best triple threat weapon in Monster Hunter Rise. When the Longsword is used correctly, it's going to give you high DPS, great defense, and on top of everything, it's also going to allow you to attack in range. And I plan to show you the best methods to manage your Longsword combos and its unique spirit gauge mechanic. And when it's all said and done, you're gonna be an expert and OP with this weapon. So if you'd like to see more Monster Hunter Rise weapon and monster tutorials from me, you can click on the card above or the playlist link in the description below for every video I've made on this game all year. And also, feel free to add SamFam to play multiplayer together on Nintendo Switch. That's my gamer tag. And make sure to subscribe for more Monster Hunter Rise content. So, the goal with the Longsword is to pretty much consistently trigger a red level spirit Helm breaker. Before you're wondering what that is, let me show you what it is first, and you can see the damage is devastating. And let me show you how to do this as often as possible. And to do that, you must first understand the spirit gauge mechanic that comes with the Longsword. So on the top left of your hub, next to your weapon condition bar, you have your spirit gauge. And to fill it, you must attack the enemy. So that's the sword, that's the bar, and when it's filled, it looks like that. And once it's filled, you're going to use the filling from the spirit gauge to do spirit blades. Now, because the spirit blades is what's going to increase the overall gauge level of your spirit gauge. So you see now it's white and now it's yellow. So it goes from white is level 1, yellow is level 2. And once you get to level 3, which is red, you will be able to trigger the strongest silk band skill in this game. And that is the spirit helm breaker you see right there. And in regards to methods of filling your spirit gauge, here are the two most efficient ones in this game. So method number 1, you go CL plus X, and that's going to give you a soaring kick. And this is a silk band skill that's going to cost you 1 wire buck. If you do that, so CL plus X, when you're close to the enemy, once the kick connects, you'll see this very minimal damage. So that's the kick right there. So usually 5, 6, or 7. Once it connects, click nothing, just let the animation play out. And it's going to do the second hit, which is going to trigger an autofill buff for your spirit gauge. You can see, if you look at my spirit gauge right now, it's autofilling after I have got in the soaring kick silk band skill. And it's just going to autofill all the way to the top. But there's another method to get autofill that doesn't cost any wire bucks, and that is the Ice Slash. And to do so, you have to go click CR, and then go CR plus B, and then go X. That's going to give you a special sheath into a sword swing, and that's going to also give you autofill without costing any wire bucks. So that's the CR, and then now I'm going to go CR plus B, which sheaths my sword, and then once it's sheathed, I'm going to click X, and this hit right here is going to trigger autofill right there. So you can see, once again, after that hit the Ice Slash, my autofill has been triggered. So that's CR plus B, and then X. So with these two methods in hand, you'll be able to fill your spirit gauge pretty quickly. And once you have it filled, you're going to use the filling to increase the overall spirit gauge level. And once again, there's two methods for this. So the first one is to trigger a spirit round slash, which is going to give you a +1 gauge level. And to do so, you have to go CR, 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 and CR. So 4 CRs in a row, which is 4 spirit blades. You can see me do just that here, and the spirit blades is obviously causing spirit gauge, but I can pretty much get in 4 spirit blade hits to do the spirit round slash. So a 70% filled spirit gauge with autofill, it's enough to do that. And you can see I did just that there, and I got the level buff. But now, what if you run into a situation where you don't have enough spirit gauge for 4 spirit blades? When that happens, you're going to go into method number 2, which is a special sheath counterattack. And that's actually also going to give you +1 gauge level while causing very little to no spirit gauge. So you can see me do that right here. That's what you're going to do. You're going to click CR and then CR plus B again. So that's going to do a spirit blade hit into a special sheath. Right there, I sheath my sword. And once I sheathed it, I have to wait till the monster attacks. So this is going to take a little bit of patience. And once I feel like the monster is about to attack, I'm going to click CR while my sword is still sheathed to do an Ice Spirit Slash. And this Spirit Slash right here, as you can see, that's the triggering animation. And it's going to give me +1 spirit gauge level really fast. And it's also a good defensive and counter attack mechanic. So a lot of the time, plan A going in for, obviously, you're going to try to do 4 spirit blades to get the +1 spirit gauge level. But, you know, sometimes it doesn't play out that way. So because like here, I sense a tail attack coming. so that I go CR plus B to sheath my sword, so I can get ready to counter that tail attack that I expect to come. So I do just that, I sheath my sword, step back a little bit, and then I'm going to click CR as the monster attacks, right? So that's going to give me my Spirit Ice Slash right there. I know I got it when I get that animation. And you can see I went up 1 level in my Spirit Gauge right there, and now I'm in the red. Right? You can see that here again, this mechanic playing out. So special sheath, attacks coming, hit him with CR, Spirit Ice Slash, plus 1 level buff. So once you get to the red, which is the strongest level you can get, that's when you're going to do the Spirit Helm Breaker, the strongest version. And to do so, you have to be relatively close to the enemy and click CL plus X. But once that kick connects, this time, instead of touching no buttons, you're going to immediately tap CR once that kick connects. Right away tap CR. That's going to launch you in the air and do a special animation that is the Spirit Helm Breaker. And you can see it go down. And the damage plus the monster breaking effect is very devastating. And here's one advanced tip and a great habit to have also. Once you get your Spirit Gauge to red, make sure you get autofill before you trigger a Spirit Helm Breaker. This is because when you do the Spirit Helm Breaker, you will go from red to yellow. So essentially, you're going down 1 Spirit Gauge level. So I've triggered the Spirit Gauge here, autofill. And now I'm going to do the Helm Breaker. Because once I get into the yellow, the autofill actually still carries over. You see, I do the Helm Breaker, now I'm in the yellow. So I've gone down 1 level. But the autofill is still existing. So this is the best transition because I want to go back up to red as quick as possible after I do the Spirit Helm Breaker. And that's what's going to allow you to do it over and over again. And here is kind of like an advanced mechanical tip to help you do the fastest way to do the special sheath. So you go CR, hold it, then CR plus B. So you can see here I've tapped CR and I'm holding it down after I tap it. And now I'm just going to tap B while CR is still held to do the CR plus B. So that's going to do my special sheath. And once that happens, I can tap X to do the Ice Slash to get the autofill, or I can tap CR, which is going to give me the counter attack. But make sure you do get that down, the special sheath technique, by holding CR. That's the best way to do it. It's going to be a little bit awkward at the beginning, but it's the fastest way. So you can see me do that right here. I click CR, hold it down, then tap B to trigger the Spirit Blade into the special sheath. Now I let go of everything. Then I go into whatever I want to do based on the scenario. And in this case, I wanted to do 4 Spirit Blade so I get the Spirit Round Slash to get +1 on my Spirit Gauge level. So in terms of weapon tier and weaknesses of the Longsword, this is an S tier weapon. It's almost just as good as the Hunting Horn outside of, you know, not being able to buff your teammates. But it's incredible in terms of just you going solo because you have high damage, you have counter attacks, that's perfect defense, and you can attack from range and you barely have to aim because the range of the sword is so long and wide. The only weakness would be because a lot of the time you are trying to get +1 gauge level, so managing your Spirit Gauge does take a lot of focus. And you're gonna get hit a couple of times because sometimes you might push it too far just to try to get the +1 gauge level, but that's fine because you're gonna get +1. You can counter attack if you time it just right. All right, so that's the end of this tutorial. If you'd like to see more from me, you can click on the card above or the link in the playlist in the description below. As always, thanks for coming by, and I'll speak to you guys again very soon.